It's emergency CobraCast time. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome in to emergency CobraCast. I am your host, D-Day Cobra, Jeremy. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Toxic, racist, sexist, misogynistic, all the things you've heard about me. Grifter extraordinaire. Maybe I'm just doing this for a few extra super chats. Whatever they say about me, it's more than likely true. But we have a lot to talk about today in a short amount of time because I have Tuesday night's main event tonight. I've already had Geeks and Gamers Daily today, so we're going to jump right into it. I hope everybody's doing well, and we got two big topics to talk about. Number one, Vivek today just absolutely annihilated the case against Trump in the most glorious fashion I have ever seen, and the fact that Trump had so many prominent people that were there at his trial today spoke volumes about what is going on and how much support Trump has, and we need to see more of that. There was so much support, and the optics of that support for President Trump were off the charts. Today might be one of the best days that I have seen from the Trump administration in terms of their 2024 run. It is been absolutely fantastic to see. Now, we also have a situation with Patrick Bet-David and Tim Pool. And Patrick Bet-David has absolutely crushed Tim Pool. I'm not sure he can recover from it. Doug B over on Rumble just dropped a MAGA red $100 super chat and said, "What's up, Commander? What's up? Is Vivek absolutely annihilated the entire argument against Trump?" And we're going to watch it right here, right now. Holy shit. This, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, enjoy the show, because what Vivek does right here will blow your mind. This is so good. I can't believe how good it is. I was cheering like I've never cheered before. This was beautiful. Here we go.
Thank you. I want to thank my colleagues, Governor Berger.
I only hear it in one ear, so I don't know if that's probably their audio.
Here, this is a politicized persecution that is nakedly apparent. What I want to do is dive a little bit deeper into what we actually learned today in that courtroom. What do we see in there? First of all, I learned a lot from being in there in person. It is one of the most depressing places I have been in my life, but it is fitting because the only thing more depressing.
It's for me, it's only coming in one ear, so it's probably their audio right there. Unless, hang on just a minute. Let me check. I might. Benny put this on Twitter, so let me see if Benny's audio is any better. The one Benny put on Twitter, because that audio did suck. So let's see if this one from Benny is going to be any better right here. Here we go. This is better.
Thank you. I want to thank my colleagues, Governor Burgum, Congressman Mills, and Congressman Donalds, for laying out the political backdrop here. This is a politicized persecution that is nakedly apparent. What I want to do is dive a little bit deeper into what we actually learned today in that courtroom. What do we see in there? First of all, I learned a lot from being in there in person. It is one of the most depressing places I have been in my life, but it is fitting because the only thing more depressing than the environment of that courtroom is what's actually happening in there. It's straight out of a Kafka novel. The prosecution's main strategy appears to be to bore the jurors into submission. And if you look in that direction, sadly, it may appear to actually be working. Now, I would like for anybody here in the press, anybody at home, anybody in MSNBC or the media afterwards, to clearly state what exactly is the crime that Donald Trump committed. Oh, wait. We have not heard a good answer to that question. It has been vague until today. You heard Michael Cohen's testimony, after which I would say it is less clear than ever what that crime actually was. They'll say falsifying business records. Well, let's look at who did we learn falsified business records today? Yet, hour, 2 hours, felt like it could have been 7 hours, of Michael Cohen talking about how he falsified business records. Okay, so you have a guy who has been a perjurer in the past that is now saying he falsified business records. What is the crime that Donald Trump committed? Now, it appears to be what they might allege is some sort of bookkeeping error or whatever. The real bookkeeping that we need accounting of is Judge Merchan's own family member collecting millions of dollars as a Democratic operative, using the existence of this trial as a fundraising ploy for Democrats. This is unconscionable. Imagine if the same shoe fit the other foot. Imagine if it was Joe Biden that was on trial, you had a Republican judge whose son was collecting millions of dollars as a Republican operative. What would you all be saying? This would not be justice. This is injustice at its worst. So let's go even a layer deeper, right? Because let's go even a layer deeper, actually. The alleged crime here is supposedly, they try to point to this every day, that he does not actually use campaign funds, that he used personal funds. Well, let's get this straight. Suppose Donald Trump had used campaign funds to make a personal expense, they'd be going after him for that.
Yes.
So if they're going to get him going or they're going to get him coming, that is the best proof that this is a politicized sham. Let's go through it piece by piece.
And with all of these prominent, you see Byron Donalds there were so many people there that were with Trump today, and we need to start seeing more of this. Every single person that has direct contact with President Trump, they need to start showing up. It needs to be different prominent people every single day. And then they can have press conferences after the fact, and that's going to get blasted out all over social media every single day. So whether you're a musician or one of these Hollywood actors that rarely speaks up and has been blacklisted from Hollywood, if you've got a big social media following, whoever the fuck you are, they need to be contacting the Trump organization, the administration, is saying, hey, we want to go and support President Trump. He needs to have people with him every single day, strengthen numbers, showing that unity, and then every day they're going to have a press conference and people are going to be speaking about what Vivek is talking about right now. That's what they need to do.
If you tell somebody to go buy you a suit and you want to look good on television because that'll affect the voters, the way voters vote for you, you know what? They prosecute politicians if they use campaign funds to buy a suit. If they say, go get a haircut, if you use campaign funds to get a haircut because you want to look good to the voters, they will actually prosecute you for using campaign funds for a personal expense. Yet the entire legal theory of this case, the whole case that Alvin Bragg has brought, depends on one premise for them to charge this as a felony, is that Donald Trump somehow should have used campaign funds to make an allegedly personal payment. Yet if he had done that, their case against him would be even stronger. This is garbage. That is the best proof that you have that if they're going to get him going or get him coming, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is a sham. This is not the United States of America. This is some third-rate banana republic. If this were happening in another country, we would be laughing at them as a sham democracy. I am ashamed as an American citizen to sit here in a courtroom watching the former leader of the free world, and let's be honest, likely next leader of the free world, sitting with the indignity in this dingy third-rate courtroom with fourth-rate prosecutors and a fifth-rate lawyer on the stand as a witness, who actually is violating attorney-client privilege left and right. Nobody's even talking about that.
Yep.
So this is a shame on the spirit in our country's history, but we will get through it and be stronger because you know who ultimately actually cast the vote on this case? It's not just the jurors in that jury box. It's every one of you at home. It's every American who votes this November to say no to the weaponization of justice. And if you're at home, you may say, you know what, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump's ever said. You know what, I may not agree with some of his policies even though they were great policies for 4 years. But you do agree, whether you are Democrat or Republican or black or white or gay or straight or man or woman, that our justice system should be blind to politics. That regardless of whether your last name is Biden or Trump, regardless of whether you've been a politician or not, you get a fair shake in our own legal system. And when you have a prosecutor who campaigned on the pledge of going after Trump and then keeps his campaign pledge, when you have a judge whose kids are collecting money from Democratic operatives by fundraising off the very trial that judge is presiding over, and then telling the U.S. president that he's subject to a gag order, that he can't talk about it, that is not justice. That is a bastardization of what this country was founded on. And I'm here, and all of us are here as friends of Donald Trump, supporting him in our personal capacity, sharing our opinions. That's why we're here today. But I hope every American at home who isn't able to be in that courtroom is able to see what's actually happening there. And when you do, we will have a landslide of historic proportion this November if every American understands the injustice that's playing out in that courtroom today. So may God bless our country. I pray for our future, and let's pray for our country being stronger on the other side of this disgusting sham politician prosecution. Doug, I'm going to close this out. Thank you.
Man, I mean, this is powerful right here to see these prominent personalities being there with President Trump and then having Vivek in the courtroom so he can give a firsthand account. I hope we see more of this. Make this a giant Trump campaign on a daily basis because the media is going to be there. The media is going to be covering it. Take full advantage. And of course, Trump has already done a great job of doing that up to this point. This is fantastic. I love everything about this. This was beautiful. That was the first part. I see we've got some gifted memberships. Lower Lips Liquor, thank you for the gifted membership over here on YouTube. Great Tang with the gifted membership as well. Thank you. Doug B for 50 on Rumble says, okay, I've been leery of Vivek, but this makes me want him as VP. If Trump picks Rubio, I'm going to rage. There is, dude, I hope to hell that there is, he's not going to pick Rubio. He can't. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. I don't think it's even an option. I don't think it's on the table at all. I don't think there's a chance in hell that he picks Rubio, in my opinion. Now, we've got some other news that happened today. Patrick Bet David versus Tim Pool. That's right. Patrick Bet David versus Tim Pool. So it all started because of this. You've got this tweet from Patrick Bet David. Let's see. Doug B says, I do not appreciate having my statement cut off. What am I, chopped liver? Yeah, I know. Hey, that you got to blame Benny for that one, Doug B. Okay, you got to blame Benny for that one, bro. But Patrick Bet David posts this and says, it's official. Chris Cuomo and Dave Smith have agreed to do a sit-down with a live audience. Patrick Bet David podcast on May 31st at 6 p.m. Do I care? Not really. I think that literally every word that comes out of Chris Cuomo's mouth is a lie. I don't trust Chris Cuomo. And I think if you do trust Chris Cuomo, I have to question, you and your ability to make normal decisions, logical decisions, looking at you, Patrick Bet David. But regardless of that, someone tagged Tim Pool and says, take notes, Tim Cast. Win your fans back by hosting the important debates. Tim responded, actually, I was asked to do the debate and turned it down. Oh, boy. Well, Patrick Bet David responds. Patrick Bet David says, turned it down? Our team and your team spoke. Your booker said you wanted us to fly you down in a private jet, which is strange, especially after I attended your paid event in Miami for free. Let us know if you want to see the email exchange. I'll wait. Holy shit. Holy crap. That is a massive smackdown of Tim Pool. That is a major smackdown. Now, let's go over this. Tim did not have to respond to this. And again, usually, I have to give Tim credit. He's usually smarter than that. He's usually does not. But lately, Tim has been getting pulled into a lot of internet drama, which is not normal for him. He usually stays above this stuff, and he's been getting pulled into it. And it's because I think that it's driving him crazy and it's getting at his ego. That's what I think, all right? And I'm going to tie that into this response, too. So let's back up here. Now, my first problem here is this is going to sound a little disrespectful. And I don't mean it to be as disrespectful as it's going to sound, but it's going to at least make my point. My point here is between Patrick Bet David and Tim Pool is two retards fighting. That's essentially how I'm looking at this, okay? I like Patrick Bet David a lot, all right? I do. But you've brought Chris Cuomo into the equation, brother. You've brought Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo is a liar by every single standard available, okay? Like, he is mainstream. And one thing I've always said, just like with Hollywood, just like the mainstream, you can take the person out of the mainstream, but you can't take you can take the mainstream out, or you can take the person out of the mainstream, but you can't take the mainstream out of the person. Same with Hollywood, all of that. Chris Cuomo is mainstream. He has it in his blood. It's in his DNA. It's who he is, and you're never going to change that. This is who Chris Cuomo is, and he always will be, and nothing will ever change that. Never. Okay? Now, in terms of Tim Pool, actually, I was asked to debate and turned it down. I don't really know what that means. What I think the person Jared says right here, I think Jared's kind of trolling him. Because if you are familiar, just a few days ago or last week or something, there was this big debate with Jake Shields and Nick Fuentes, and something to do with them having a debate on Tim Pool's show, and that kind of blew up. I'm assuming that this fan is probably taking a shot at Tim for upsetting a lot of the people that were in that circle. So Tim walks right into it, but he says, actually, I was asked to do the debate and turned it down. Do you mean you were asked to host it, or you were asked to be involved in the debate? I don't really know what he's saying. But something happened, because Patrick Bet David confirms that something happened. Then we get to this point. Turned it down. Our team and your team spoke. Your booker said you wanted us to fly you down in a private jet, which was strange, especially after I attended your paid event in Miami for free. Let us know if you want to see the email exchange. So he's basically saying, I have receipts to back up what I'm saying, that Tim Pool wanted a private jet. This is what I'm talking about with these guys, man. Like, look, at the end of the day, mainstream mentality is always going to be mainstream mentality. The fact that Tim Pool is requesting a private jet is the most Tim Pool thing ever. You know, he tries to come off as like this regular guy or whatever. Like here, for instance, when I went to Blaze, Blaze invited us out to do what was that show that Sydney Watson and Elijah Schaefer used to do? What was the name of that show? Fucking show was You Are Here? Is that it? I think it was You Are Here. The show, yeah, Eliza, I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, it was Sydney Watson and, yeah, You Are Here. Okay, correct. Okay, so You Are Here. They invited us out. Now, they offered to pay for my airfare and my hotel and all of that. I declined. I was like, I don't want your money and I don't want your comp or anything like that. I'll drive and I'll pay for my own hotel. I don't want your money. I'll go and be a guest, but I'm not taking you comping me for any of this. So I did. I drove from Pensacola to Dallas and stayed in my own hotel and everything, because who fucking cares, man? I'm lucky enough to be invited on a show. I don't need everything paid. Like, I'm just a regular douchebag, so who cares, right? But I don't want to be tied. Like, I'm not here to be tied to anybody or anything like that. I'll do it my way. I don't want it to be like I owe you something or whatever. That's just not who I am. I don't like being involved in a situation where I owe anybody anything, even from a perception standpoint. So I never do that. I was happy to get invited. Ultimately, the show got canceled because that was when some winter fucking storm happened or whatever. So, but we did end up going on with Sarah Gonzalez. So neither here nor there. The point being is that I've been offered to have my trips paid for in the past, and if I can help it, I turn all of that down. Now, there might be a situation where somebody wants me in certain place at certain time, and I can't turn it down because it's a great opportunity and I'll have to take something. But if I can help it, I'm going to take care of my travel myself and my hotel myself, because the people take care of me, and I don't need anybody's money, any company's money or anything like that. I don't have any connection to the Blaze. I have nothing against the Blaze, but you know, Daily Wire is another one. Daily Wire invited us out to whatever. I'm trying to remember how that one went. I feel like I stayed in my own hotel again when Daily Wire brought me out. Yeah. I stayed in my own hotel again and drove. I drove, stayed in my own hotel, because I don't want your, you know, I guess you don't have to pay for me because I don't owe you shit. I'll be there as a guest, but I'm not going to be tied to you in any way, shape, or form. So Tim And the way, and again, Patrick Bet David, we're assuming everything Patrick says here is accurate. Patrick said that he attended the Tim's event, the paid event, for free. If true, then Patrick Bet David is doing it exactly like the YouTube sphere, at least my sphere, does this. Like, I don't appear on people's shows and tell them, like, you have to give me money for me to appear on your show. Well, I'll just appear, man. Like, make your money, make your super chats. I don't care. And then, and it'll come full circle later on or anything like that. Or if somebody comes on my show and we have a good show, I'll go to their stream and I'll just super chat them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. It's just kind of like a circle of like, I'll pay you back, I'll get you back, I'll do you a solid, whatever. That's kind of how the world I'm in is. But Tim has clearly gone in this mainstream attitude of like feeling like he deserves a private fucking jet. Absolutely insane. So I guess we're going to continue to see how this all plays out. But this was interesting. And I was told about this today on Geeks Gamers Daily. I can't remember who told me. I'm sorry. You're probably here in the chat because you were like, emergency CobraCast today, Jeremy? Like, I don't know if I have time because I've got, Tuesday's main event. I've still got to record multiple videos. But if I can cover it, I will. If you're just tuning in, let's back up so everybody can see what's going on here. Patrick Bet David puts out this tweet talking about Dave Smith and Chris Cuomo are going to do a debate on the Patrick Bet David podcast on May 31st. Someone tags Tim Pool and says, take notes, Timcast, win back your fans by hosting the important debates. Tim Pool says, actually, I was asked to do the debate and turned it down. And he has been absolutely ratioed by Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David questioned his statement of turned it down and accused him of demanding a private jet. And that was after Patrick Bet David had said that he attended Tim's paid event and he showed up for free. He also says he has receipts. Up to this point, I don't think we've gotten a response from Tim. Tim Pool downfall is happening fast. Oh, God. Oh, the memes are glorious, dude. The memes are glorious. So yeah, absolutely funny as hell. That was good. That was good. I'm scared to search Twitter anymore. So I'm going to go back here just so I want to see what's down here. Because Twitter is kind of a shit show. And I'm trying to search Timcast to see if he's responded anymore. No, Tim is posting a lot of, looks like chat, GPT, and memes. So he's not really, he's not responding. Oh, he did say this, though. He did say this. What do you think your son learned? This is a quote. What do you think your son learned from watching you emerge from your basement after faking being in COVID lockdown? Do you think he will take more away from you? A liar, a con man, or your brother, a murderer? Who killed nursing home patients, then tried to blame Trump? Okay, he's 100% right about this. He's 100% right. Chris Cuomo is a horrible human being, okay? A horrible human being. So he's right about that. But that's funny. Holy shit. I mean, does anybody... You could dislike Tim all you want. Does anyone disagree with that statement right there in regards to Chris Cuomo? That's 1,000% accurate. Again, I'm a firm believer in everybody having a voice. I'm a firm believer in everybody having a voice and having a platform. And I do think that Chris Cuomo deserves to have a platform and a voice just like any other person. I also think Chris Cuomo, for the rest of his life, deserves to be mocked and shamed and ridiculed and never have an ounce of respect from the general public. Because that's the type of person that Chris Cuomo is, and his brother. They are two of the worst people imaginable. Two of the worst people imaginable. Now, earlier today, part of this emergency CobraCast was that we covered the Vivek statements that he made outside of the courthouse today. And if you have not heard that, go back earlier in the stream and watch that. The senator who did better says, do you think Tim will make a show change in 2024? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know what show change there is for Tim to make at this point in time. Like, look, ego and jealousy is the downfall of a lot of people. It's also the reason that some people succeed. Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, had a massive ego, and he was a very difficult person to be a teammate with because he demanded such excellence from his teammates, and he was absolutely fucking savage. But he got the best out of him. Kobe Bryant, notoriously just a badass, a hard ass with his teammates to the point where they just hated his guts, and he got the most out of them. And then you have other people that, can't be like I said, this is what I said about Tim and about how Tim has to be the most important person on the panel on his show. Now, he can have some big guests on there occasionally, but in terms of his core panel, Tim has to be the biggest personality because his ego needs to be the biggest personality. He has to be the biggest personality. And that's why I don't think his show is I think his show is probably peaked, which again, if peaking is where he's at, that's a pretty fucking good place to peak. But if he would actually bring prominent personalities that can rival, match, and in some ways overpower him on that panel, I think that show would be fucking huge. But he doesn't have that ability because his ego won't let him. Like for me, how there are so many people that, especially my haters, and they're always like, Jeremy's just jealous because he's no longer the biggest channel. People like Gary and Drinker and all these guys have passed him. It's like, I am the luckiest person in the world to be friends with who I'm friends with. I've never been upset about anybody having more subs than me. I've never been upset about anybody having more views than me. I've always been super thankful to be part of this corner of the internet. And I see people like that go and succeed, and it motivates me to keep getting better and better. And that's the difference in the people I'm surrounded with versus the norm, is that there's so many people that just cannot stand for other people to be more popular than them or more prominent than them or get more super chats than them or get more viewers than them or get more views than them. And that's just not how any of us are. In that whole sphere that we have, none of us are like that. None of us. We just talk a lot of shit. We have a lot of fun. And I'm glad that we're never going to fall into that mindset. And so I tend to stay away from people that have that type of mindset. And so, I'm lucky to be where I'm at with the people I'm surrounded with. But yeah, do I think Tim will make changes to his show? Probably. But do I think there'll be changes for the better? I mean, again, you guys have to tell me this because I don't know. I didn't watch Timcast. I don't watch Timcast consistently. But I do remember he came on my radar when him and Adam took off. His show is not bigger now than it was when Adam was there, right? When Adam was there, wasn't Timcast even bigger when Adam was there? If I'm not mistaken. And swig of water for the working man. Let's see. Waiting to see. No? Really? People saying no. It was bigger then. It's gotten worse this year. They talk about nonsense. I feel like Timcast was bigger when Adam was there. I could be wrong. But I look, man, who am I to tell Tim what to do? He's got more money than me. He's got more viewers than me. He's got a more successful business than me. Who the fuck am I? I'm just some asshole sitting in, white sunglasses talking on the internet right now. So who the fuck am I? That's the response Tim should give to some asshole like me. Like, who the fuck are you? He's like, you're the only reason you got 2,000 people is because you're talking about me. That's basically what he can say. And he's right. So yeah, I mean, basically I can go fuck myself from that perspective. And I totally understand that. But yeah. At the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But Patrick, Bet David, and Tim Pool fighting is pretty fantastic. Zinny Biscuit says, extra super chats? Okay. Well, thank you, Zinny Biscuit. I appreciate that. I didn't even see that one, Zinny Biscuit. I'm sorry. Kevin Cron says, another Jay versus Jeremy video battle. Is he live again? Oh, he's probably mad at me. I did not know Jay was live. He is probably mad at me. The truth has been known. Jeremy hates Jay. Jeremy does not want anyone to watch Jay. Oh, I bet he is playing the victim right now. I did not know he was live. Eric CB says, stopped watching PBD after they hired Fredo. Let's see. Schrodinger's chat says the new House of the Dragon trailer dropped. Need to see reaction. I didn't watch the first season, so you don't have to be. Let's see. Hang on. You don't have to be big to be right, says Rab Knox. No, I know, but listen, again, I've said it before. I would never trade my audience for any other audience on the internet. I would never trade my audience for any other audience. I am the luckiest person in the world to do what I do. But I like to acknowledge reality. And the reality of it is I'm sitting here with, like, not even a fraction of Tim Pool's viewers criticizing Tim Pool for how he can make his show better. And the reality of it is he clearly knows what the fuck he's doing, and he doesn't need my help. I like to acknowledge reality just because it makes me feel a little better about my take, is like acknowledging the reality of the situation. Obi-Wan John with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. So ugly. I'm illegal. Baldo gayer than my pick. Ministry of Wrong Things says, you see Bill Maher call out this Daniels on lying under oath. I did see that. And I'm glad that happened. We need more people calling this out. But again, the optics of Vivek being there today and with Byron Donalds, I thought was great. I thought it was great. And I was really happy to see that. And I want to see more of that because that was really cool. And not just him, I mean, all those guys being there spoke volumes, and we need to see more of that. I don't know how much longer the trial has, but we got at least a few more weeks of it. Trump needs to be out there, and he needs to have as many people out there as possible, and they need to be doing press conferences afterwards, telling the people what's going on. Because at the end of the day, you know how bad this is? Do you know how bad it is? Donald Trump, right now, former president of the United States, and the front runner to become president of the United States again. If Donald Trump is doing something illegal, shouldn't the American people be able to see the court proceedings so that we, the people that have the power and the vote, shouldn't we be able to see what's going on? Shouldn't we have that right? If we have a potential elected official, a former elected official, and potentially a future elected official, shouldn't we, the people, have the ability to see what's going on in this trial? Yeah, we damn sure should. And they don't want us to. Do you know why? Because they know it's bullshit. They know it's bullshit. Because you know if this looked bad for Trump, they would have cameras in that courthouse. They 1,000% would have cameras there if it looked bad for Trump. And you know that, and I know that. Unbelievable. Let's see here. Still Leg of History says, yes, it was, I've been a part of Adam's chat from the D1. What's up, Steel Leg of History? The glory of man. Jeremy, you're always shouting at people more so than most. No shade to anyone on FNT. You know, the more you uplift others, it uplifts your spirit. Oh, I'm always shouting out people. Listen, I have no problem with that. Like, you know, I've looked at, you know why I've started doing reactions? You know what? Spoiler alert. Is Hypnotic in the chat? Is Hypnotic here? I'll give a spoiler for something. See if Hypnotic's in the chat. And I'll say it either way, but I want to see if he's here. I know Hypnotic watches a lot. But I do like doing the reaction style videos. I'm going to react to a Business Insider article from Hypnotic on Geeks and Gamers. I'm going to react to his video, and then I'm going to be able to shout his channel out while also, you know, being able to give commentary for the video he made. He made a very good video, okay? So, yeah, I don't know if he's here in the chat, but I will be doing that. And I think that's good. I think it's good for people to kind of, I've seen this with other creators, and I've watched this. I'm like, they really do shout each other out through content. It's one thing for me to go, hey guys, go subscribe to this channel, and that goes so far. Okay, cool, that goes so far. But it'll be another thing. Look at him right there. Hypnotic is here. Hypnotic is here. What's up, Hypnotic? I'm gonna react to that Business Insider article that you made a video on, and then I'm going to obviously link back to your channel. So I'm going to do that on a Geeks and Gamers video. And I think that's good to kind of, give other channels, some notoriety and things like that, because I think it helps. I think that helps a lot. So that's going to be cool. So shout out to Hypnotic. He's here. I know he watches a lot, so I was like, he's probably here. But yeah, I have no problem with other people growing their channels and everything like that. Hypnotic makes great content, and his channel's growing, and I love seeing it. Andrew Tate's genital wart says, Jeremy, you still haven't checked your DM from me on Twitter. Is it under the same name? So this is what happens. You send me you're on here as one name, and then you send me another one as another name, I think, because I don't think you could probably get Andrew Tate's genital warts. I don't know if you can get that on Twitter or not. Unrivaled with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. Kevin Cron says, just joking with you, Jeremy. I know. Stuart H says, hail to the snake pit, Trump 2024. Fantastic Mr. Knox with a gifted membership. Thank you. V6 Neon. Vivek was cooking with gas, and oh boy, was he turning up the heat. Yes, he was. Vault 95 says, emergency CobraCast must be important. Scanning in with code Beardo's gas pump. Yeesh. General Duality says, Jeremy ended up doing a CobraCast today. Let's fucking go. Let's go. That's right, man. Got to do it. We got to keep the ball rolling. And Sir Neoff says, I watched the PBD podcast with Vivek. Would recommend watching it fully. Males like me, let's see. Makes me like Vivek a lot. Also, my rep, Corey Mills, standing there, respect him more. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of it. We watched a little bit of it last night on CobraCast. Didn't get a chance to watch all of it. Frog Club says, Frogs and Cobras united. Let's go. Frogs and Cobras united. And yeah, again, everybody's like asking me about these shades or whatever. The shades are there's multiple layers, okay? There's multiple layers to why I wear these, okay? Like, personally, I think that telling the media to go F themselves, I mean, that's obviously a standard of Geeks and Gamers, CobraCast, and all of that, all right? I'm a huge sunglasses collector as it is, but ultimately, this is one of the reasons. It's an homage to a legend, okay? Now, I'll give a quick, if you have, like, you might, this is going to be some very graphic language in this video, okay? If any, because usually we do this stream a lot later, all right? But graphic language, so you have been warned. But it's about a legend, okay? It's about honoring the legend, okay? And here's the legend right here. Here we go.
Oh, I don't care if she's 20. Hell, I'd fuck her. You can't say you wouldn't fuck her. Maybe that's what I'll do when they find her. I'll go and fuck her. Fuck her right in her pussy.
All right, well, we definitely apologize for that editing error in that story. We are going to switch gears now to the prospect of peace talks.
It's very, very unusual.
The 3 victims were part of a CXS crew.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Oh, my goodness. And obviously, somebody has interfered with Laura Ingalls' live shot, grabbing her mic and running. We apologize for the profanity, which he also said on our air.
It is going to be a big cleanup.
It took crews longer than anticipated to find the crack in the 64-year-old pipeline. I'm standing here with Fred, who says he was greatly impacted by the gushing of oil. Can you tell us a little more of what you saw?
I sure can. I was sitting on my front porch, grabbed a beer, and fuck her right in the pussy.
Like,
it's disgusting.
Tonight, warmer weather is on the way.
Yeah, tomorrow looks pretty nice.
So you have not purchased your costume yet. What are you going to be this year?
A prostitute.
Okay. This gentleman here has purchased his costume. What are you going to be this year, sir?
I really don't know what this is, but I've got something a whole lot scarier.
Let's see it.
Sure thing. Fuck her right in the pussy.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't.
Dude, there ain't nothing I hate more than the media coming up to me. And what I mean by that is, like, local media, when something happens and they need to get, like, content and they pretend to actually care about you. I fucking hate the media. I hate when they come up to, like, local people trying to, like, get answers out of them for content. And this guy just completely wrecks them. You know what I mean? He's the legend, okay? And also, of course, the Macho Man. the Macho Man. I know a lot of people are like Macho Man. Yes, these are like Macho Man style sunglasses, and Macho Man is certainly one of the GOATs for sure. But yeah, good old. Anytime I see anybody trolling the mainstream media, I am all for it. Travis Schiffer says, "Did you show the Pelosi beatdown? Benny has it. No, I'm going to do that tomorrow probably." Fantastic vs. Knox says, "Paying it forward because someone gifted me a membership." That's awesome. Dermy Wormy says, "Bigger creators willing to help smaller creators is amazing. It's why I love the fellowship, and it's why I respect you, even if you are a tard." Thank you so much. And thank you, Fantastic Mr. Knox, for those 5 gifted memberships. Mine, I had to be careful about that one. With a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. And that's going to be it. So if you want to go back and watch D-Day Cobra Clips, if you have not subscribed to D-Day Cobra Clips, please go over there, subscribe to the channel. Jay Hellstorm is actually doing a good job on that channel. So let's see. Right here, D-Day Cobra Clips, all right? So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. We are only at 593 subscribers. We need to get that up to 1,000, okay? Hailstorm's got a bunch of content over here. So of just clips of me and a lot of the topics that I do during CobraCast. So anytime that there's like an emergency CobraCast and you guys miss it, those topics will be uploaded over here to this channel. So yeah, feel free to go over there, subscribe. I'm sure that yeah, Cam Man's dropping a link right there. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it, guys. I'll see you for Tuesday night's main event. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Emergency CobraCast. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Have a great day, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.